G'day everybody, Simon here, Explosive Action. I am back for a death metal vinyl update. Got 7 records here to take a look at, so let's get into it. This episode of Explosive Action is brought to you by Blacksound Records. Blacksound Records is a record store located in Melbourne, Australia, specialising in underground metal, punk, noise, experimental and everything in between. Blacksound offers fast and free delivery options across Australia, New Zealand and the world. Explosive Action viewers can get 5% off their first order using the code EXPLOSIVE05 at checkout. A reminder, as always, this video went to channel members first. You can join the channel for 99 cents a month, get early access to videos, get yourself a little cool emoji thing when you comment on my videos, and we might even have some exclusives in the future. We're going to start off with a 7-inch, an EP. I'd say a 45, except for this one's actually at 33 RPM, and I did check it because it is heavy as a boat anchor. This is Sewer Hall with Emetic Fluid Transaction. I mean, what a great, this is so good. Here is some of the greatest gore grind that you're going to hear in recent times, and I do not overstate that. This is condensed to 6 tracks in a 6-track 7-inch in 7 minutes. That's what you get here. It absolutely crushes. It is so, it's like 10 elephants taking a dump at once. It is absolutely outstanding. It's like Stenched meets miasmatic necrosis. That's what we've got here. 2-piece. We've got Lucas on drums and vocals. And these drums, they must have been asking for it, given the way he's been pounding at things. And Casper on guitar, bass, and vocals. So I'm pretty sure he found a new note to tune his guitar to. Like, we're looking at like Drop Z or something at this point. Absolutely filthy. But at the same time, these tracks are not just like 30-second long blasts of just mortician noise and movie samples and that kind of thing. Even if the guitar tone is actually quite similar, gotta say, there's the guys. Guitar tone is quite similar to some mortician, but I've played this EP probably about 8 or so times at this point. It's very short, and I've quickly learned all the intricacies of every track. It's like, including the garbage truck vocals. Just, these are unique tracks. There are 6 tracks here, and they've all got their own identity. It's not just mindless noise, gore noise or whatever. Like, these are proper tracks. This is really, really good stuff. Interestingly, the band don't appear directly on the Metal Archives under this name Sewer Hall. Took me a bit to work out what happened. For a brief period, just before this release, they went by the name of Slovg, Slovgh. Maybe that's slow or slough or something. Maybe they were just preempting people like me not knowing what to do with that word. Changed the name to Sewer Hall. You can see this album cover, the digital version, where it's got the same logo, but it's got the Slovg or whatever it is letters up there, but it's done in the same style. The physical release came out on Sewer Hall, and I think things just haven't caught up yet. So despite this coming out late last year, like October, I think, last year this came out. So Metal Archives needs to do a bit of updating there. But the band is Sewer Hall, 2 words. And it's just utterly filthy, grinding, gory death metal. I would very much like a full album of this sometime soon. Here I am pulling out a black 7-inch, like you've never seen one before. Out on Extremely Rotten Productions, the home of this kind of filth. And I really am happy with that description of miasmatic necrosis meets Stenched. I think that's what you're getting here. There's the 2 members and some layouts and stuff, and there's some splatter there. Hard gore grind core. Yep, that's what you get. So yeah, great stuff here from Sewer Hall. Absolutely impressive gore grind. If you like the bands that I mentioned, you like the mortician stuff, not so much in the movie samples, just catchy, gory death metal, check out Sewer Hall. Next up, we have one of those completely out of nowhere releases. I had no idea what this was, where it was coming from. It just showed up at every distro at the same time. And I think a lot of people were wondering, what is Blood Monolith, the Calling of Fire? This is a new project from Shelby from Nails and of Ulthar. with members of Genocide Pact, Goetia, and Undeath. So a lot of modern death metal, death grind scene involved in this thing, and it's an absolute colossus. 28 minutes of tight and fairly oppressive grinding death. A lot of dark dissonance in the riffs as well. Not just straight up Nasm kind of grindcore or anything like that. Not at all. This is very dark in its sound. The crushing drums is what I get from this. It is a drum focused album, front and center in the production, lightning fast like you'd want for this kind of death grind. And it's not your exhumed kind of gory death grind here. Blood Monolith at times feels to me like immolation with grindcore elements in them, with just dark swirling mass, and then throw in some Morbid Angel riffs and things. It's more like that than death grind or grindcore as you would normally expect. Big breathy booming vocals, rabid precision riffs, dense bass guitar as well, cacophony of blast beats. I mentioned those drums. Yeah, it's just a warhammer coming out of those things. And the production, very snappy, very tight. As you'd expect from a band that's associated with Nails. They're one of the big darlings in sort of grind and hardcore and that kind of at this moment. So yeah, definitely that production and that quality is flowing through here. So yeah, really, really good stuff here from Blood Monolith. The snap on the snare could break necks. I mean, it really is a tight sounding drum set. The last time I heard something like that was when I heard not the latest, but which is not latest, but a couple of years ago, but the 2 albums ago, Wormrot. I haven't even heard the last one, but 2 albums ago, that Wormrot that came out, like 2020, something like that. The snare on that thing, I was like, made me sit up and take notice. That's what I get from this one. And yeah, but being such a short listen to 28 minutes, I found myself returning to it quite frequently, just to get my feel over and over and over. So yeah, a Profound Law release, really cool artwork as well. A lot going on there. You can sort of turn it around and see all kinds of different things. Take a look inside. All very black and white themed. There's some nice lyrics. Calling of Fire in the center. There's the band. Cool logo there from Blood Monolith. The Shelby guitar vocals, Tommy Wall on guitar, Nolan on bass, and Aidan Tidings-Lynch on drums. Yeah, it is a really stellar first release for this band. No demo that I could find. It was just straight out. Obviously with that kind of caliber of people. Yeah, it's just black and white. They kind of repeat split the text on both sides. That's how they've done it. Very straightforward. Yeah, that kind of caliber of people, I guess. It's a bit like Static Abyss. You've got people from Autopsy. Just go up to Peaceville and say, "Give us a record contract." Like, you don't need to rehearse and give them a demo or anything. It's probably what happened here with Blood Monolith. It's just all those guys probably rocked up to the front desk and said, "We're going to do some death grind. Sign here." And we get Blood Monolith, The Calling of Fire. Really, really good stuff. Check it out. Next up is literally one of the most exciting releases of the year. This is Diabolizer with Murderous Revelations, and I use the word exciting, not only that I was excited that we had a second album from these guys, but I just mean listening to this is an exciting experience. I find my eyes and ears wide open to receive everything that's going on when I listen to this album. Supreme riffage and aggression on display. Diabolizer are a band from Turkey. They dropped their debut full-length Calcadonian Death back in 2021, and I picked that up in probably about 2023 or so, quite after the fact. I don't remember anybody talking about Diabolizer. I just saw it at Repressed Records. Cover looked cool. I looked it up and I'm like, oh, it's got people from these bands in it. And those people would be Malak and Mustafa from Hyperdontia, great band, and Engen, I think it's probably Engen, and Khan from Engulfed, another excellent band. Wow. And this second one, is an absolute step up from the first album. These guys are just razor sharp. Absolutely razor sharp. Frenetic, seriously heavy down-picking grooves, insanely fast, tight drums, rumbling, powerful bass, It's definitely more on the engulfed side of things than the Hyperdontia. Um, definitely in the production as well. Like it really is that precise and very driven sound. Hyperdontia can feel a little in the slimy realms of death metal, like Undergang and that. This is anything but like Undergang. This is fast and evil, like the best of Deicide and like Vital Remains. Okay, there's some Vital Remains going on here. Think to Christianize. Kind of where we're going with something like Diabolizer. Pushing into Angel Corpse speed at times. There's a lot of ferocity, the fire. Look at this hellish landscape coming from this amazing cover up. Such a good band. They even pull at black metal at times, just in terms of the ferocity and the speed. Sometimes sort of tremolo riffs, that kind of thing. But then they'll also, occasionally retreat into more dense, dark, F and G album, Morbid Angel, that kind of old staple of dark Cthulhu kind of riffs. So yeah, it's a riff face album. Like you play this thing going the whole time. Like it's like not just riff face angry. It's like one eye closed, like you're waiting for it to hit you in the face. And like that's the riff face you pull when you're listening to Murderous Revelations here. Unadulterated riff face. So much fast, like chugga chugga, but not dumb chugga chugga, not Sandy Sugar Plums chugga chugga, but just really fast and like I don't know, it's like the tuning or the gauge of the strings or something. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff, but damn, it is just heavy but precise and clean and tight all at the same time. Uncompromising. Dive bombs, love them. Whammy bar, guitar solos, love those equally as much. And like last year's Engulfed album, Unearthly Litanies of Despair, that was sort of one of my, I think it was one of my number 2 album of 2024, was right up there. You're basically guaranteed to enjoy, I think, this release. If you're a fan of Engulfed, this is sort of 75% Engulfed, 25% Hyperdontia if you wanted to split those two bands. Definitely favouring the Engulfed side. Look at this evil monstrosity. Gorgeous release out on MSUO. Dark, twisted, but razor sharp death metal. And as you can tell, I am a big fan. I'm black. And take a look in here. We get card. We got 5 band members looking like they're all in incantation. I mean, look how metal this is. Like, that's proper band photo. They're all doing the lunchbox. We've got Morbid Angel. There's your F album. I mean, we've got an Engulfed shirt right there. There's a Monstrosity Imperial Doom. Got the Ripped Dark Jeans. I mean, what else do you bloody want? Fantastic. I mean, is that like a goat skull there? That's a Craft shirt. So that's the black metal guy. I mean, just fantastic. There's the lyrics. Yeah. So, highly recommend this one from Diabolizer. This is Murderous Revelation. 8 tracks in just under 40 minutes of precise. I'm choking up on this. Just death metal. Next up, we have the third full length from this Finnish power trio, Morbific, with Bloom of the Abnormal Flesh. Oh, look at that cover. Filthy, disgusting, putrid, horrible death metal. This one, of course, starts off strong. I get reminders of old cartilage riffs, so I'm already just glued to my seat. It's pure, filthy Finnish death metal. My favorite kind, of course. You watch this channel enough, you know that Finnish death metal is like the S tier for me. It's not too dissimilar to the 2 albums that came before it. I was a really big fan of the debut album, and I really did eventually really enjoy the second album. The second album had this wall of production that was pretty odd. I think a lot of people found that production kind of odd. It's very mid, like scooped mids or something. Like, I don't really know how to describe it. Very trebly, and it was really weird sound. But eventually, I actually really quite enjoyed that sound because nobody else really sounds like it. It was very, very different. So you get used to it, and you're like, it's different to the first album. Well, they're different again here. It's somewhere, I'd say, in between the two, but favouring the first album. The bottom end is back. It's more thicker. It's crunchier. And the guitar tone is still kind of unique, but it's just not quite as mid and, a little bit trebly as the second album. So, they've kind of corrected that, I think, for most people. They'll probably find this one more instantly accessible. And Chase Slaker of Mortiferum is once again doing the amazing artwork. He's done the artwork for all 3 of the albums so far. So, yeah. Take it over the other side. Look at these guys. Look at that. They're all doing the head down, the hair, just standing in. Oh, man, I love death metal. Just look at this. Perfection. Absolute perfection. Menagerie of grotesque trophies. Which that one? That's track 3 or something. That's the track that was immediately getting me like really invested in this thing. It's got sort of a medically inspired intro. Had this odd flange guitar, strange. I don't know if they're like underwater sounds or something. It was a weird kind of thing going there with this flange. And that one was very, very swampy and stompy. So yeah, a lot of head nodding in that track, many change ups in speed, surprisingly very technical leads, sounding kind of demolicky. Finland. Then we have Promethean Mutilation. What a title! Promethean Mutilation. That was more twisted. It's got more dynamicism in the drums. Even a wild sort of guitar solo there in the middle. That was great. Womb of Deathless Deterioration. That one's got like some end phrase squealies, and they just put a smile on my face like I'm smiling now. That kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm all over it. You pinch harmonics. I mean, god damn, I'm a fan. Moving to side B, we've got Crusading Necrotization. Oh, just so good. Necrotization is probably a better way of saying that. That's a real crusher. That one's thick, heavy, slow, but then it's followed up by the brilliantly named Hydraulic Slaughter. Can you picture that one? A hydraulic slaughter? I'm picturing it. Man, that one's got a real speed and intensity behind it. Combined with these like chunky sort of palm muted chords. That one's got a bit of New York going on in it. From Inanimate Dormancy, that track is just disgusting. There was no other word for that one. That one is just disgusting. This album, man, that track is just pure down-tuned filth, and it's quite a short one too. The final track, though, Slithering Decay, that one's only 2 minutes long, and I was like, oh, this one feels a little out of place. Like, it felt more stripped back. Like, the production was the same. It's all done in the same recording sessions, I presume. But it felt different. It felt like maybe this was an old song. And so I looked it up. I'm like, yeah, straight from their demo. So it's a re-recording of a demo track, and you can really tell. Listening to that, you can listen to in sort of like 6 or so years, 7 years, the change in the band. Just their improvement as musicians to show the rest of the album versus that track. It's a good track, but you can tell the difference with it. So that was really good. So yeah, you gather the album is a nasty creation, like the 2 albums that came before it. I think Morbific are one of the better bands to take on that Finnish death metal mantle. Carry that torch forward, move it on with some ugliness, and my God, is it ugly. Take a look inside. There's the band again. This time they've moved into the forest. General Surgery shirt there, so that's already an A+ from me. Got the folded arms, everything. It's fantastic. There's the lyrics. And this one again, just on black. I think there was a spewy green kind of version that you could get. Yep, out on MSUO, same as that Diabolizer, if I hadn't mentioned that, both on MSUO. Bloom of the Abnormal Flesh. This is a cracking album from Morbific. If you like the first album, you're going to like this. If you enjoyed the second one, but maybe, I wish the production was improved, you're going to enjoy this. So, yeah, Finnish death metal. Mwah! So I recently did an order at Hell's Headbangers for a few other things that'll probably show in a very, very soon future update. But I wanted to chuck on to that order to, make the shipping worthwhile. I was looking around to see what's something that I'd kind of forgotten about or I missed or whatever. And this is what called out to me. I only just got stock in of it as well. This is Abysmalist with Vile Possession. I had absolutely no idea that Abysmalist made their way to a full length. And I'm not too sure what happened there. They did a really solid demo cassette, Reflections of Horror, in 2019, which I've got. Very, very good demo tape. And I had not heard anything since. I kind of figured they were just sort of one of those bands from. There was a lot of death metal coming around 2019, 2020. Not all those bands got past the demo stage. It's fair to say, a lot of great demos, not a lot of albums. I figured Abysmalist fell into that trap. Not so much. 2022, they released this album. Came out on Maggot Stomp, which I've said before is a little challenging sometimes for me to pick up things from that label, sometimes to even know that things came out on that label. And this is the only other thing that the band's released so far, Vile Possession, this full length, with this great cover artwork, and the whole thing just screams death metal. So, yeah, what do you get with Abysmalist? If you haven't heard the demo, it's not that different. Stompy, to the point, like, just slabs of death metal in Obituary, Bolt Thrower, that style. It's when I was listening to this, I'm like, this is what 6 Feet Under would sound like if they weren't shit. That's Abysmalist. Take that in the most positive way you can take that, because this is a great album. Big, crunchy riffs, mid-paced drums, deep guttural vocals. I mean, I'm just ticking off all the things here. It's the most meat and potatoes of all the meat and potatoes death metal you're going to find, but it's delivered so well. The songs, it's all about the songs, of course. I mean, and they're all immediately recognizable. That's what's great about this. It's not just, oh, here's 8 boring death metal tracks from some third-tier death metal band. No, the tracks on here all stand out. You can pick any track on this album and you recognize it. Like, you don't have to go all the way through. I recommend you play it all the way through, but you can just play track 3 and go, yep, it's that track. And that's a good thing about this. Particularly, and they wear their influences on their sleeves, of course, and I was not blind to the recycled Corporeal Jigsaw Quandary riff that I heard on the second track, The Redeemer. When you hear it, you're going to go, oh man, guys, that's a little bit cheeky. Nicely done, fellas. I don't know if it was just a pure coincidence, but I definitely heard some Carcass in that one. It's just solid. It's memorable. There's the 3 guys. Kind of looking more Tomb Mold-ish era of death metal there than sort of old school death metal. You got your flannelette, you got your glasses and your moustache. That kind of, newer tier of death metal bands. We don't hold that against them, of course. It's Abysmalist. This is good, solid meat and potatoes stuff. 6 tracks, 3-piece band, done and dusted in just over 30 minutes. It's not swampy. It's not cavernous. It's just death metal. Served straight, no water, no ice. Death metal. That's it. There's not much more to say. I mean, it is even minimal in this whole thing. Great logo too. I think they've really nailed it with their logo. So, yeah, it's I think a lot of people consider maggot stomp bands, and that sort of gets you into that sort of caveman death metal. I don't think this is caveman death metal. This is just death metal. Death metal. Color is on blue, happened to be on blue, goes nicely with the cover. Not sure if there was other ones. Is Crushing Debut Unlimited Sea Blue Vinyl. There's the band, looking a bit more death metal there. You get your Gorgut shirt, great stuff. Whoop, and some lyrics. Very cool. Yeah, this one to me just feels like it's, I don't know if it's just me, but I certainly haven't seen anybody else talk about this thing. A couple of years ago, 2022 when it came out, I don't recall anybody talking about this one from Abysmalist, Vile Possession. If you missed it and you just like death metal, then please check it out. It's a good one. All right, I've got to prepare for this one because we're going to get all kinds of greasy for this release. This is Haggus with Destined Extinction. Do you love my hat? This is definitely one of the most fun releases you're going to hear in 2025. Haggus here with their most widely received release so far. That's absolutely guaranteed. It's out on Tank Crimes, and this is being pushed as if it's the very first thing the band's done. I mean, there's video clips. It's just getting sort of organic, like social media traffic, and all kinds of people like, Haggus, have you checked this thing out? So much so that this thing was easy for me to pick up a copy of from Blacksound, who you saw the promotion at the start of this video. I picked this up from blacksound.com.au. Make sure you check them out. 5% off for new purchasers. But this is not the first thing that the band has released. Haggus has been around for many, many years. And like Agathocles before them, they have dozens and dozens of 7 inches and EPs and splits, and like 3 or 4 full lengths already in there. and lots of small tier stuff like CDRs, limited to 20 copies and things like that. Haggus have been around and they've been doing it old school and DIY, going back to 2014, so like 11 years at this point. But this is a perfect entry point. It's almost a reboot for the band, I think, for the masses. This is Haggus for the masses right here. Short, blistering, groovy grindcore, or as they and Agathocles prefer to call it, mincecore. It's a micro genre, subgenre. You know, it's just grindcore, but a bit more simplistic and a little bit more stripped back to the politically motivated kind of stuff. I'm not going to get too into the semantics of that micro genre. You can just call it grind if you like. But on this particular album, there is stuff for you to like if you are a fan of anything from like Archagathus, Butcher ABC, bands like that, to Lymphatic Phlegm, and especially Bloodduster. So much of that in there. There's plenty of groove in these riffs. It's not just short, like 20-second blasts of noise. No. And I think that's what helps with this one. Like, if you go back through their discography, you can get this 2 CD release that's got like 25 of their 7 inches thrown onto 2 CD release, and it goes like an hour and a half. And it's an exhausting listen. And a lot of those tracks are 20 seconds here, 14 seconds here. Like, there's a lot of that. This is Haggus for the masses. Guest appearances. We got the dude from Lipoma doing an absolutely amazing guitar lead. You could pick that that was him. He's got a sound that's very similar to the guy from Pharmacist, so that was great. Very melodic, ripping lead. At its core, Haggus are sort of 3 members. Again, going through their history, it looks like it might chop and change a little bit, but on this one we have Hambone on guitar and vocals, Mr. Brisket on bass and vocals, and I love this, the Slam Burglar on drums and vocals. The Slam Burglar. And like I say, for grind tracks, this is pretty decent. I mean, that's the length of the thing, right? So the album is 25 minutes, but we do have 10 tracks. So that's averaging 2.5 minutes or so per track. That's an eon in grindcore, right? 10 tracks, 25 minutes. Miasmatic Necrosis would have had 30 tracks in that time. So 2.5 minutes. Sometimes they go past 3 minutes or so. And it's just like, bottom line, it's just simplistic, addictive, punchy, groovy grindcore. And I really have to emphasize the grooviness, and that's why I go, Bloodduster. And the humor. Obviously, it's humorous. You're not going to call yourself Haggus. And some of the tracks on here, I mean, ultra pitch-shifted vocals. There's 2 vocal attacks. There's a slightly more mid, like raspy kind of thing, but most of the time, there's this... just ultra pitch shifted Last Days of Humanity kind of vocals. But there's like these brutal truth screams as well. So that was cool. There's like these Kevin Sharp screams. So so there's actually a bit of a mix up there in the vocals. And as I said, they've done a video. There's a track. The video is a mix of 2 tracks because they're still short. Rotting Off and Do You Love Mincecore? You can watch the video for it. I'll leave the link below. It's so much fun. It was like watching a King Parrot video or something, just mental, with the energy of like obscene extreme. Like Haggus, I mean, this is the epitome of an obscene extreme band. That's absolutely what this is. So much fun. It sounds great at 45 RPM as well. I haven't tried it at 33. That'd probably be quite funny. But I mean, look at all this stuff. Look at the great artwork there. A lot of things going on there. Poisonous Beach. I really like that's the hype sticker I've just managed to throw on the ground. I like this fold-out deal. Band members, all their masks. Seem like they're having a lot of fun. And I think I can show most of this. Show quickly, just some gory stuff, all that kind of thing. And on a nice, calm, tranquil ocean blue. Beautiful. Beautiful. So Haggus, Destination Extinction. Like I was saying, if you've not heard this band and you just like, tight, modern, gory sounding, but not necessarily gory lyrically, gore grind, grindcore, mincecore, you're gonna have to check this out because this is great stuff. Destination Extinction. Do you like mincecore? Yeah, I like mincecore. And the last record for the update, and finally, after 10 years of activity, 2 incredibly good demos that have been reissued multiple times on LP, 2 or 3 different CD compilations, and a more recent 7-inch. We finally have a full length from Ossuary, and whoops, I've got the hype sticker from the Haggus there I need to put in. Anyway, back onto this. This is Ossuary with Abhorrent Worship. Death metal crushing, god, ugly. This is what you came here for. This is what you came here. This is absolutely abhorrent, as it says. Stays on the slower side to the very slow side of death metal. I'm not going to say anything about doom death metal though. I don't get that impression. This is just death metal and it goes slow. Riffs provided by and the putrid snarl necrophagia vocals by Isabel Plunkett, who's very much in that Vastum style. Like, it's real guttural, but it has that tonal sound to it, very much like Vastum. Pounding drums provided by Nick Johnson, and bass provided by Matt Jacobs. So there's a real good, heavy, punishing bottom end on this one. They're both from the stoner doom band Jex Thoth. So yeah, stoner doom, then move it into death metal. That's why this is slow. It's one of the most sonically heavy things I've heard this year. I mean, you want to just talk about heaviness. This is just sonically heavy. Like, the sound coming from your speakers is uncompromisingly heavy. I've been playing this one quite loudly on the turntable. Now, I did have the promo for this, and I liked it. I mean, I listened to it on my phone. Like, I get the digital promos, I put them on my phone. I've got pretty good headphones. I go for walks and I listen to stuff, and most of the time that's good. It gives me a good idea. For the Ossuary, I actually think it didn't work too well. It was fine, but it wasn't exciting me. Then I got the record and I put it on the turntable, and it brought out so much more of that just demolition hammer sound to this release. It just completely, like, if you're normally like listening to music on headphones, or you're not a physical person, you listen to stuff on Spotify or something like that, honestly, get the record, put it on a turntable, put it on some loudspeakers, because that's what this thing needs. And it's a punishing sounding thing. Thick, crunchy riffs, sluggish drums with that pitter-patter double bass. I love it when they do that. Kind of reminds me of, like, not just Vastum, but Crips out of Finland. There's definitely some of that sound going on here. No blasting, very, very, very little fast stuff on this at all. No D-beat, anything like that, no skanky stuff. It's just death metal and it's slow. Just the repeated belting of, like, Thor's hammer. Bang, bang. It bludgeon you. But it's not Caveman. It's kind of smart. It's just great. It has that slimy sound as well of that the similarly female-fronted band Diabolizer. Not quite as slimy as them, and the rotting organics of that band I wouldn't say are here in Ossuary, but this is still ugly and it is still foul, and it goes hard when you play it at 11. So play this thing at 11. 6 tracks, 37 minutes. Beautiful layout as well. This is a great big gatefold. So there's the front. Really unique artwork. Again, when I first put this, saw the cover artwork, I wasn't immediately sold. I was looking at it going, what's going on there? Looks like something I might see in a museum, like dug out of Egypt or something. But the more I look at it, the more I really, really enjoy it. There's the band. With Izzy there in the middle. And yeah, the whole thing, Gatefold's great. A lot more going on there. Big monolith thing. Like they're being worshipping, sacrificing them. Abhorrent worship, blood coming out of them. So yeah, lyrics and stuff in there in the band photo. Oop. And I think it was a gold version you could get. I just went with the black. And what we have here, there's a download card and a poster, which we shall quickly fold up because it is different artwork. There you go. That's pretty good. That's coming across. I love it when the poster is not just the album cover. That's good stuff. If I had the room, I'd be hanging it. So yeah, Ossuary, Abhorrent Worship. It's everything I was wanting from a full length from these guys. They worked hard at it. 2 demos, 7-inch, getting a lot of vibes. around the underground. Everyone waiting for it. It's dropped, and I'm hearing a lot of people talking about it. So yeah, you should talk about it too. Ossuary, Abhorrent Worship. Yeah, great death metal. That's it. That's the death metal update this time. 6 records plus a 7-inch. And yeah, all just nasty, horrible death metal. The kind of death metal I really, really like. And I think you like too, because that's why you're here watching me. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like and subscribe. Consider joining the channel, 99 cents a month. Check out this guy. Check out this guy. And I'll see you next time.